or 8 feet or more. And as a result, it makes it so people can't easily use the sidewalks in our neighborhood. As a result, a lot of pedestrian traffic gets diverted into the street. So you see people walking their dogs, riding their bikes. You see kids in groups on scooters and electric vehicles that are going right down main roads. And they try and stay off to the sides. But as Valerie said, with how much parking there is that goes on in the streets, it narrows the pathways down to what is essentially one lane. And so frequently you will come around a corner and you have to go extremely slow because there might be a child or a group of children that comes out into the road. In addition to that, there's only one area in the neighborhood that is designated as an actual community public space. And it's convenient for me because it's right in front of my house. But 6819 is in the way back corner of the neighborhood. So 80% of the entire neighborhood has no access to any kind of public spaces at all. If they want to get anywhere, they have to come all the way up to the back corner of the neighborhood that sits high up at the top area. So if anybody wants to get there that has mobility issues, there's no concerns in place for them either. Valerie also talked about them potentially putting a walking path around the quarry area. I've actually gone hiking down there numerous times and tracked the progression of the wildlife development. It's actually been designated as a wetland area, but it's also at the lowest point in the entire neighborhood. It's below where all these new houses are going to be built. So if we're building 100+ new homes, all the runoff and all the drainage is going to go into this area that has now been designated as a protected wetland. So I don't know how that's going to affect that area either, especially the surrounding area around it is only partially wooded. So if that area continues to be developed, how is wildlife even going to make it to the designated wetland area and make use of it at all? So in addition to all these important safety concerns, there are definitely some serious concerns that need to be addressed about the actual usable pedestrian space in this neighborhood, not just cramming in as many homes as we can fit. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person.
Hello, I'm Mike Davis. I live at 6818 Stewart Drive, Lafayette Falls. I moved there in 2013. I lost my past home on Kern Road to eminent domain. It was a really heartbreaking time for me because I didn't have no chase. You know, I got bought out. Really, I say I got evicted. Best part of that happened after that, I built in Lafayette Falls. I'm way back in the back like everybody else. And even when I lived at my old house, if I want to walk down to Lafayette Falls, you'd have to walk into the street because there are no sidewalks. They built that new interchange right there at Kern Road, and they put sidewalks in up Kern Road until you get to the houses, and then there's no sidewalks. So it's kind of weird. Why did they have those sidewalks there? But which is kind of irrelevant. But when you're going now, when I'm going to Lafayette Falls to turn in, I'm always looking behind me. Is this going to be the day I'm going to get rear-ended? I'm sitting there to turn left in Lafayette Falls, and Kern Road's only one lane. So if people aren't paying attention, or they are paying attention, they drive off the road to get around you. Then when I enter Lafayette Falls, go up to what the previous people said, you go onto Slater Drive with cars parked on both sides. It's basically one lane. Coming here tonight, I had to wait for 3 cars to get through. And then on trash or recycling pickup mornings, good luck if you want to get to or from the coming in or going out. You cannot get out because with the garbage trucks, the recycling trucks, it's one lane. And even if they get through, it's hard for the cars to come through. So basically, if I'm getting ready to go somewhere, and if I hear the garbage truck coming up, I might as well just stay home for like 5 or 10 minutes. I know I'm not going to get out. And it's just, like I said, all the situations. We have the 75 new homes that are being built. So now 107 out back. And I guess a conservative would be 2 more vehicles per house that's being built. And I'm like everybody else is, I'm all for it. You know, realistically, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to have 150 new homes. property tax base, oh man, our property taxes will go down. We're gonna get all this new revenue, which we know that's not gonna happen. But I am for, I love it. I love Lafayette Falls. I
30
think it's a
seconds.
hidden gem. We've got everything close to us, but they gotta make it accessible, especially for fire trucks, ambulances. Thank you so much.
Sir. Anyone else?
Good evening. My name's Angelina Obradovich. I live at 6811 Lutz Drive. I agree and support the points that my neighbors and friends have made. We welcome growth, but it has to be safe and responsible. Tonight, I'm asking for 3 simple things. A traffic and safety plan with updated counts and fixes, especially at our bus stops and Armstrong entrance. A secondary access would be awesome, so fire and EMS can reach us without delay. I'm sure they're annoyed with that too. We'd love a usable public open space, sidewalks and a walking track built early with basic amenities so families can use them right away. And finally, we'd love a 60-day report back so our residents can track the progress. Thank you for your time and for supporting a safer and stronger community.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hello, James Hardig, 1514 West Mackey Drive. First off, thank you all for this time, and thank you all for your service. What a great way tonight to start off with the PAL, the kids. How awesome, right? That's why we're here. That's why we're all here, the kids of the neighborhood, right? Looking out for their safety and their well-being. I stand here in agreement with the rest of the neighborhood tonight, and I also speak for those not able to attend tonight due to having kids and the responsibilities, homework, school, and so forth. One thing I want to bring up, as Mayor Mueller was speaking tonight, his number 2 concern of the citizens here of South Bend was neighborhood infrastructure. You guys all have the packets. That was number 2. That's huge. This is neighborhood infrastructure. We're asking for a second entrance because 200 current houses, 74 lots available to buy right now, and then another 100. We're looking at close to 400 houses with 1 entrance. Not very safe for the kids. Also, side note, I proposed to my fiance a couple months ago, and thank you. And we would love to be in that neighborhood, have kids. As you can see, it's a very strong community. We all get to hang out, bonfires, dinners, have drinks together, you know, very strong community. And something we want to be a part of, a lot of young couples. So we look forward to hopefully living, you know, in that neighborhood for hopefully the decades to come. But if something is not done, I don't know where we would go or move to, but thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else other than our last person? Let's, if you're coming, let's come now. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is LaCrista Trujillo, and I live at 6811 Lutz Drive. I just want to say that I agree with what everyone's saying. I don't want to just keep repeating, but it really is an issue. I have a 10 and a 15-year-old who love to play basketball on the street, but you know, with the amount of cars that are going to be passing by, that's definitely a risk for them. And our streets are narrow. They're not wide enough. You know, we can't really do anything about that, but we can certainly do something about making another exit where there's not going to be as many cars going by our house. There has been issues where trees have fallen right outside of our street on Kern and electrical lines down, and us having to figure out how to get in or out of our neighborhood. And that definitely does pose a concern with emergency crews coming in to save not only my family if something were to happen, but the families in my neighborhood. So I hope that you can all consider keeping our neighborhood safe. I mean, it may not be a big deal to you guys, but it is to me. We left my daughter's softball game to come here because this is something very important. I don't want my daughter to choke or my son to get hurt and crews not be able to get to him because there's another emergency or something else happening on the other side of the neighborhood. I would die if something were to happen to my kids because emergency crews couldn't get to them soon enough. So, I mean, this is something that everyone should care about, not just my neighborhood. It's something simple. If this developer has enough money to build all these houses, they should have enough money to build another exit, just period. It's something simple. It's something you shouldn't even have to debate. You know, if you got this money to do all this, why can't you keep our neighborhood safe? It's just about the money, you know? So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Next person.
Hi, Council. Thank you so much for the time tonight and your listening ears. My name is Alyssa Barr. I also live at 1514 West Mackey. And I think all of my neighbors here would agree to disagree with the developer that we have two feasible and usable entrances. They're only 0.3 miles apart, and they both empty out at the front of the neighborhood. That's been stated. I think what I would like to expand on is Michael's point that one of the entrances and our main entrance and exit to the neighborhood is lackluster at best. It does not have any type of lane designations. It's a very wide road, yes, but we don't have a pocket left turn or a right turn lane designated in and out of the neighborhood. So there's a lot of traffic congestion of people not knowing exactly where to go or where to pull. So you have people turning left, holding up everybody turning right, trying to get out. At the same note, turning into our neighborhood is incredibly dangerous on Kern. We are at a point just past a hill right off of the bypass. From there, the speed limit goes from 30 miles an hour to 40 miles an hour, which I think most people would agree is a suggestion at best, or that's how people drive on that road. So you have people flying down Kern. We're trying to turn left into the neighborhood, worried we're going to get rear-ended. And then those people take that left turn too tight. I've almost been clipped on the nose a number of times by people trying to turn left into the neighborhood to get out of the way of traffic on Kern. So I would just like to put that forward too, that, you know, they say that they're meeting all of these requirements by having two exits. Our main exit and entrance isn't safe as it is, so it definitely needs to be revamped if they are to expand the neighborhood like this. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hello, I'm Brad Wise from 1506 West Mackey Drive. I support all of their concerns they have expressed. Something I want to make council aware of is, Mayor mentioned tonight that the community goals are to build vibrant infrastructure in our neighborhoods. It's a priority. In 2004, the 25 acres or the 74 homes that are being built now were approved for Weiss Homes. Of course, they went under. In 2019, this idea was revived by a developer. In the Plan Commission meeting on September 21st of 2020, this developer filed for a waiver to not have to do a 10% of the project area, which shall be designated as public, accessible, civic, or open space. They granted that. They granted his waiver, but in their notes, it says the staff has reviewed the waivers requested. While the staff would not typically support the waivers for a newly proposed subdivision, the staff recognized that this subdivision was originally approved in 2004. So, and then in addition to that, you've heard about the current 10% that they want to use on the newly being developed 46 acres is going to be a walking path around a quarry, which is essentially unsafe for kids. And it's a path, which is nice, but it's not a fully functional space. And with the number of kids, it would be nice to have actual space they can use and not playing in and out of the cars and traffic. So I'd just like to, please take that into consideration and helping us try to move some efforts to maybe do a redesign of the 10% usable space that they're trying to make available to the neighborhood.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. Anyone else? Is he our last person today? All right. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. My name is Russell Birch, 6735 Hillenbrand Drive, also in Lafayette Falls. I just wanted to agree with everyone else, all of the rest of our neighbors and everything. And I think it is important that the city does do some type of traffic study. Another concern that hasn't been brought up yet is in the wintertime. We're on the very far south side of town, and we are probably the last neighborhood to get a snowplow. And when you come into our neighborhood, both of the sides you can come out on the roads to dump onto the main exit are hills. And when they don't get plowed, it's just a solid sheet of ice, trying to go up and down on a curve to get to the entrance. So I think it's something that should be taken into consideration too with another exit. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. I want to say this to all of you that have spoken tonight and those that are here. We hear your concerns, all right? And you have two very capable council members, and they will be working with community investments over there and maybe even public works to address.
Could you stay by for a hot second? We're gonna come down there right after this meeting's closed and just clarify a couple of things with you. Okay, thanks. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Comment.
Yep. Our Director of Community Investments is here.
Yes.
And Chief of Staff is here. So you hear all of the concerns of the residents and hopefully whatever we can do to help. So thank you all very much. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.